Good day. Today I want to present a story I wrote recently. It's an animated story. It's like a cartoon characters. It is a story about a pair of crows. Where they talk like humans and they express their thoughts like human beings. And of course some people will voice over as if the birds are talking. So if you are interested in making an animated movie, listen to this story. It's a beautiful story I wrote a couple of years ago. The title of the story is Crow's Landing. Crow's Landing. There are two beautiful crows called Akash, a male bird, and Neeli, a female crow. They used to live in a mango tree in a schoolyard for a couple of days, for months. The young couple, they just built a nice nest. But then they found the school children pelting stones get the green mangoes. And some will miss some rocks and hit their nest. So they're in danger. So they decided to leave the mango tree and find a better tree to live and build a strong nest. So they flew around the town and found a beautiful neem tree in Hanuman temple yard. The Hanuman temple. It's a Hindu temple. It's a monkey god. And then they just landed on that tree. They love the tree, the lush, the neem flowers and yellow fruits and beautiful, beautiful tree. And then all of a sudden, the resident crows on the tree started hovering around them. Coo, 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 caw, 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 They're boisterous, threatening them, as if they're coming close with their beaks, as if they're going to bite them. And then they got scared, they don't know what to do. And then a big crow, an old crow, came and then landed very close to Akash and Neeli and said, welcome to the tree. And then they're scared, And then the Akash wife Neeli said, sir, these crows are boisterous, as if they don't want us. They may kill us. No, they don't. They're testing yours. How strongly you want to live here. That is the test they will give for all the newcomers in this tree. So you are welcome. So you can take one of the branches, and there is one empty nest. Unfortunately, a pair of crows were dead. A bowsman, a huntsman, a tribal fellow killed to eat them. So he can occupy and then build it. So they thanked Dharma, an old crow, whose wife was also killed by tribesmen not too long ago. He's living alone. He's an old crow. He's the master. He's almost a priest-like, and he will take care of all of the crows on the neem tree. So Akash and Neeli moved into the nest, and then Akash getting some twigs and all the grass and make soft so that Neeli can lay eggs afterwards. And then Neeli says to Akash one day, Akash, bring one shiny object to decorate our nest. We don't want too many. Just, there is a connection between crow and shiny objects. Crows are known to steal shiny objects and take it to the nest. It is a tradition. Crows have it. So, and then, of course, Akash wants to get a permission from Dharma. So he goes to Dharma and asks him, sir, my wife asked to decorate her nest with a shiny object. So can I go and steal a small spoon or small buttercup, a small utensil, steal shiny object so I can put it? He says, son, you can steal an object or as many as you want. But we don't know the connection between shiny objects and decoration. Actually, we crows collect those shiny objects. It is a metal object, that, to keep it in the nest. So the hot sun, it attracts the heat and keep the nest warm. That's the reason why we steal, not to decorate our nest. That is something the most crows, like young crows like you, misunderstood. So go ahead and steal. So Akash will fly and then find a nice seafood restaurant where there are small buttercups They serve butter, melted butter to eat with seafood, So Akash stole one and bring it and give it to Neeli. Neeli was happy. And then Neeli said, we have to visit our brother who lives not too far from a big tree. We'll go. One evening they visit them. His name is Ramana. He got a long beak, surprisingly, he's a big bird. Long beaks, very boisterous, talks very nice, tells a lot of stories. And his name is Lakshmi. She's also very nice. They gave some food and stolen food, some rats and dead meat, and they gave the shade to eat. And then he got his house, Lakshmi decorated with so many metal objects, unbelievable. It's like a showroom, like a shop. And Ramana liked to steal, besides, of course, getting food for his wife. And they have a lot of children. They became adults and they flew away. And then one nice day, Neeli laid 2 eggs, and they started, the eggs to become, they're sitting each other alternatively to warm it up so they can hatch. One day there is a big uproar, all the crows in the tree are going like robustly jumping around, crow, 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 crying. And then they found Neeli and Akash found 2 large crows. They look different. They are a crow, but they are much larger. Big beaks, darker, much darker than crow. They are on the branches, looking around. And then Dharma comes and says, be careful. You had to fight with these. These are crows, but they're called ravens. These ravens are slave masters. They steal our small birds, and then they take it, they use it as slaves to get food for them. That is their job. So these ravens will fly all around the town and land on some of the trees where we live, and then kidnap our baby birds and take them and use it as slaves to get food. And they sit around and just chat. That's what they do. So we have to frighten them and drive away. And then all the crows go round, taking long beaks and trying to push them. And those ravens rested for a few minutes, and they found it too much, so they fly away. So that day they escape. Sometimes these crows have some kind of a meeting, So they land in a terrace of a big building, like a town hall meeting. All the birds will chat, and Dharma will, obviously, the old crow who gives good advices to the crows. And then he tells what things to do, what objects to steal, how to food. But then he concludes the meeting every time saying that you are better dead, electrocuted by landing an electrical wire rather than killed by a huntsman or a tribes. Because the tribal people eat crows. They cannot afford to buy regular meat in departmental stores. So they come in with a bow and arrow, they kill 5, 6 on each tree, the crows, and then they take it home, remove the feathers, and then they barbecue it, eat it. That's how they do it. They roast it on the fire, the crows. So be careful, So if at all you pray God that you die by electrocution, not by tribesmen. And that is the ending, she says, Because his own wife was once killed by a tribesman, Since then he is living alone on the top of the tree, just taking care of it. Other crows she doesn't go for hunting or bringing food. The other crows feed Dharma because they're like father. He's the father of the crows. He's like a king, but morely a fatherly figure, okay? So what happens is, one day the crows are again on the air in the sky, going round and round, and then landing on the buildings and roofs and walls and wall posters, looking at the road. And then Akash and Neeli went and also landed in a wall near the street. They found Dharma was dead. He was dead, electrocuted, the way how he wanted to die. And they saw some mongrel dogs, street dogs. They're ripping apart Dharma to pieces to eat him. But at least they are all happy Dharma died the way how he wanted to die. He wanted to die by electrocution rather than a tribesman or some hunters, who do very cruelly killing with the bow and arrow and take it home and kill. Anyway, they came back home and then they have a small town hall meeting, like giving some wishes to the Dharma who was dead that day. Like a funeral, like a human funeral. They all talked, people talked about their experiences, good or bad with Dharma and how Dharma helped in their lives. And then Neeli's babies are growing up, they became big, and they said, Papa, I want to fly. Okay, you can fly, but just first jump from branch to branch. Don't fly, you fall and then be killed. Just jump from tree branch to tree branch, then so you get feathers, you get a little bigger and strong, you can fly from branch to branch, within the tree. Don't go above the tree, don't fly away from the tree, that's too early for you. So they tried, both the babies started flying and then they started getting their wings strong, so they started flying around the tree, 1 round, 2 rounds, 3 rounds, and then landing in their nest beautifully. And then their parents show how to fetch food, how to steal food, how to steal shiny objects, all the skills they passed on to their kids. And the kids are happy, very happy. And then they named the male baby to Arjun, and then the female baby to Archana, Arjun and Archana. And they said, one day they said to parents, we are big enough now, we have to find our own nest, we have to find our own tree to build a nest and have our own family with our own wife and husband. All the crows came and gave it a send-off, and these Arjuna and Archana took a flight. They fly deep in the sky. They went on east side of the neem tree and fly all the way. They made 2-3 rounds to say goodbye to their parents, Akash and Neeli. Goodbye. And then they will always come back once in a while to visit their parents, the way how Neeli and Akash visit their parents. So they flew on the east side of the town to find their own trees, build their own nest, have their own wife and husband, and have eggs. And then those eggs will hatch into children, and the generations will pass on from generation to end of crows. So this is a beautifully written animated story about crows. The title of this called Crow's Landing. And I am willing to cooperate. Anybody wants to make a movie, a video movie, a short movie, to put it on a Netflix or Amazon or on YouTube, so it won't be that expensive. And then we can have a small musician to play music, background music, some songs between Neela and Akash in the sky flying, or that feeding, or when the eggs will hatch, become small birds, you can have a nice background song like that. So I can also direct. I have some directorial, hopefully some experience from this movie. But I can write the script, I can write some lyrics for a song in English, and I can write script in English and Telugu, Indian language, or you can dub into other language from English if you want. But if you have somebody interested in buying the script or the story, contact me. My email is subba4@msn.com. Subba, SUBBA, 4, like number 4, @msn.com. Thank you and bye.